Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Stock Market Show Cybl video. Cybl stock. Guess what? They came out with the earnings Friday in after hours. I told you to relax. Told you a lot of people are crying. Oh, boo-hoo, my favorite stock isn't. I'm trying to get rich quick. I don't understand why it's not moving. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo. A lot of crying. Call the ambulance, right? Let's click on... It just literally came out a minute ago. As soon as I saw this notification, I'm like, let's go. Let's check this out. Let's see what's going on. Let's read some comments too. I bet you there's a lot of crybabies like, oh no, not Cybl earnings. Oh no. Let's see. Let's click on Twitter here. Let's just look up Cybl. Oh my God, that makes sense. Oh God, yeah, this makes a lot of sense. This makes a lot of sense. So you guys are about to see something very interesting. Okay. So what is this? Common shares, outstanding. That hasn't been updated. Yeah, I want you, before I even say anything, the government did shut down. So we would expect Cybl, just like BBAI, just like any other stock, any stock that relies on government contracts and the government being open, they probably aren't going to have that good of a quarter, is what we would expect. So actually, I hope Cybl kind of drops here on Monday. Because that would be expected, right? If the government's not open, that's going to affect a lot of companies that are, that thrive off of the government being open and running. So let's see what's going on. Nothing so far. 730. They issued shares. It's part of a with Brett, part of the settlement agreement. This is just old. They don't have any. No, they don't have anything new in terms of convertible debt. Okay, let's see. Okay, so here's something very important. For the quarter ended September 30, 2025, Cyberlux's shipments of its order backlog were impacted by the combination of legal matters and the U.S. government shutdown. That's probably the biggest thing. It's the U.S. government shutdown. So if you guys think like I do, the U.S. government shutdown caused some stocks to not perform as well as they normally would because they rely on the government being open and running. So those stocks dropped and got nice and cheap. Guess what's going to happen once everything gets up and running again? And guess what's going to happen when we go to war? Yep, war stocks in the Department of War, Defense, whatever you want to call it. They're going to get a lot of volume to the upside, a lot of buying volume. A lot of people are going to load up. And we're going to see this, along with other stocks, go back to, previous highs or most recent highs. So... that affected approximately $9 million in shipments for the quarter. This is a temporary situation, and the company is resuming shipments currently. There you go. Everything's okay. Thank you for allowing me to buy cheaper. Cybl order backlog is approximately 20 million, with a robust order pipeline of an additional approximately 37.8 million across the 3 business units. Cybl announced we entered into a strategic relationship with Palantir Technologies. The implementation of the Palantir technology will enable Cybl to gain real-time visibility across our end-to-end production lifecycle. Okay, well, we already knew that. Okay, nothing new. I'm just looking for anything that can get us excited about a big pump. Because they did say, you know what's funny? If you guys remember, they said Q4. There was a lot that was going to happen in Q4. Remember that? Remember when they said, "Oh, Q4 is going to be great," but nobody saw. They themselves couldn't see this shutdown coming, and let alone lasting as long as it did. So and it lasted what 30 plus days. So it kind of makes sense that everything got impacted. So this stock, I don't think it's gonna. If I'm being honest with you, I don't think it's gonna get a pump until early, probably like March. I would say March of next year, because the government shutdown kind of essentially pushed everything back. Is really what it comes down to, right? If there's a month-long delay because the government's not open, that's not the company's fault. Nobody could have seen it coming, let alone nobody could have seen it coming lasting as long as it did. So again, if you have patience, and this is why I always say, if you got patience, this is no big deal. You're just like, hell yeah, I can wait. I'll accumulate more as we wait for the next quarter, and things should be better now that the government's back open, assuming nothing between now and then happens, right? Let me see. Is there anything here with regards to 2026? No, I don't see. I don't see anything here so far. Okay. Okay, I don't really. They're just telling us what we already knew about the new products that they've developed. Cyberlux is preparing for the sales and manufacturing execution of the Trainer, Spider, Huntsman, and Tasmanian platforms on a global basis. Like I said, guys, it's a penny stock for a reason. It's still just getting started. They can't just spawn 1,000 products like that. This ain't Harry Potter. There's no, waving of the wand and boom, the big business is built, right? Boom, I just have a whole manufacturing place ready to go. Like, that's not how this works. This is why I always tell you, if you're going to buy Cybl, you got to be patient with it. It'll pay off, but you got to be patient with it. Yeah, the stock market's not for you if you don't got patience. And when I say patience, I mean a lot of it. Okay, we already knew all this. Nothing new here. Nothing new there. I'm just trying to see if there's any hint at something that could come in 2026. Right now, I'm just seeing a lot of what we already knew. That trend is continue to negotiate multi-year proposals. Man, I didn't think this was going to be that long of a video, but here we are. Okay, so most of this we already know. Yeah, so other business matters. The use of the company's available capital to support growth has been important over the last several years. While cash flows from operations have been uneven, as expected for a penny stock that's worth less than a little copper penny, literally. literally worth a third of a copper penny. This is expected and normal. I don't know why people expect a company this that's a penny stock sitting literally at 003s to have like this incredible cash flows and revenues. Like it's not, it's no Nvidia for a reason. People are just delusional. They want this stock to be like the next Palantir or whatever, and it goes to the moon because they're delusional. As discussed elsewhere within, the company is highly focused on growing its pipeline of projects. Focusing on what? On growth. Growth, right? Growth takes time. Again, I'm speaking real slow for the slow ones. Most of you are not slow, but there are some really slow people, believe it or not. The company anticipates that as predictable cash flow improves, it will be able to use its capital resources to build necessary infrastructure and, of course, shareholder value. And they're not lying to you because they're taking their sweet time because it's not their fault that the government shut down. And again, it's a business like any other. Growth takes time. If it was easy to grow your account from 1,000 to 1,000,000, we'd all do it. But people don't have the patience to do it because it takes too much time. They want 1,000 to 1,000,000 fast, right? Same thing. People want their favorite stock, the company, to move super fast. Tomorrow, spawn a building, spawn the AI infrastructure, whatever. It's absolute silliness. If you have a good head on your shoulders, you're going to succeed in the markets. Combine that with extreme patience, and it's just going to be easy money. I think... We anticipate that in connection with an uplisting, a restructuring of Cyberlux's capitalization would be required and reflected in an amendment of our articles of incorporation. Stock buyback plan. So yeah, they're going to buy back stock at some point. It's just, again, people want, right now, please give us a catalyst right now so that it moves so I can get out and make my money. But that's not how this works. The company's not going to listen to you. They don't care about your feelings. They're here to grow a business. That's what they're focused on. So they're doing the right thing. The buyback will happen at some point. Again, it's all patience. That's really what this can be summed up as. They're telling you, okay, this is what we're doing. If you don't got the patience, boo-hoo to you, right? I think that's it. Nope, I don't see anything else. I'm going to scroll down and see if I find anything. Well, I wouldn't expect the revenues to go up, honestly. Well, maybe, but I don't expect it to. Yeah, their revenues are fine. Not anything like, oh my God, what incredible revenues, but yeah, you can see here their income from operations 5 million versus 26 million from last year. And that makes sense. That makes sense because that makes sense because, again, we literally closed the government for over a month, and that has huge impacts. Shares outstanding did go up, I think. Yeah, it went up, but they're not diluting like crazy. People may act like, oh no, they're diluting like they're not. AITX is now, that one is garbage. I'm sure I'm sure AITX is a very bloated share structure. This is fine. Hell, when AITX had like 10 billion outstanding shares, it still pumped hundreds of percentages. So I don't know what the concern is with. They're fine. It's again, it's an OTC company. What do you expect? If you're expecting flowers and sunshine, you're delusional. Like this is an OTC penny stock. Yeah, so you can see right here now if Cybl starts releasing these horrible, dilution numbers right here, right? You look at AITX. Remember when AITX only had 7.5 billion in outstanding shares? Well, now they have 22 billion, and their authorized shares are 23 billion. Let's look at the AITX Discord just for comparison. You want to see them crying? You want to see AITX stock Discord crying? You want to see them, crying like little babies? Let's see. I bet you they took it down. How much you want to bet they took down the website? Oh wait, you can. They're still in there. I'm surprised that Discord is still alive. That's shocking. But anyways, you get the point. You get the point, guys. Wait. Don't ignore the noise. Focus on what the company is communicating to you, not what other people are saying, and you're gonna make a lot of money. Continue to have lots of patience. That's it for the video. I'll see you guys in the next one.